9, push, 10 more, T.
I never want to feel the way I used to feel. I never want to look the way I used to look. I love the new body that I'm in. Everybody else can play around if they want because this body is T. I plan on keeping it that way. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's finally time for me to do my long-awaited weight loss video. I have lost over 40 pounds and counting. This is a really crazy moment because I have been procrastinating this video for like over a year and a half, but I feel like I'm finally ready to really share like my experience, what I ate, how I worked out, and just my thought process along the way. Before I jump in, I do want to start off by saying that like I'm not a doctor, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. You should definitely like go talk to your doctor. This is what worked for me. So I don't want to get bullied in the comments. Don't be like, oh, this is not how you do this. This is not how you do that. But look at me though. Okay, yeah. So that's all I wanted to say before we go ahead and jump right in. So my whole life, I've had these various points of being overweight as a child, a little bit in middle school, and somewhere around high school going into college, I really started to get taller and the weight started to distribute a little bit differently. And so I didn't feel the pressure of maybe feeling overweight or having any health concerns. Like most people, COVID was definitely what did me in. And I don't want to sound, like cliche, but COVID really did do me in because during COVID, I gained probably over 25 to 30 pounds. I remember the last time I got on the scale around COVID, I was about 188, 189. By the time I ended COVID and decided to actually start losing weight and taking my health serious, I was somewhere around 222 pounds. So once I saw that, I definitely got very scared because I did not know I got to that size. I didn't know that I weighed so much. I think a big part of it, and this is why I tell people all the time, honestly, I was just buying bigger clothes. And when I look back on it, I did notice that things weren't fitting, but I don't think I really registered that as like, girl, you're gaining weight. I just registered it as, okay, I'll just buy bigger clothes. And it just happened so, progressively. Like it just, I don't know. I just feel like by the end of the day, I was 222 pounds. I definitely went on a bunch of different extreme weight loss plans and things like that. I felt for myself like I needed to find something that was sustainable and that felt like I could really do it. It was hard for me in the beginning because I had been through so many different points of my life where I tried to lose weight and it did work and then I gained it back. Or I would just start going to the gym for a few weeks and then just completely fall off, and I could not tell you guys why. I definitely went into my weight loss journey with doubt in my mind that I was actually going to be able to do it. And that's why when people ask me now, like, how do I, not have that mindset? I'm gonna be honest with you, especially if you're someone who has been there, done that, where you've gained weight, lost weight, tried going, failed. You're going to have that feeling in the back of your mind that like you're going to fail again. But I honestly do believe that you can turn that doubt into what fuels you to actually prove yourself and other people wrong. That is legit what I did. I think when it comes to finding that motivation at the beginning of your weight loss journey, you have to pull motivation from literally anything. And I don't know if that's healthy advice or not, but that is just truly what I did. I used my doubt in my mind to fuel me. I used even like things I was dealing with in my family, deaths, breakups, all types of stuff going on in my life as my fuel to actually get me to the gym. And sometimes I feel like you just need to feel something when you're going through things. Like I just remember going to the gym and just getting on the treadmill, sometimes running, and I'm not even that much of a runner at that time. I wasn't, but I was running. I was doing jumping jacks. I was doing literally anything. And then people them gym. I was doing literally anything, but I just knew that it felt good. And I knew that I had the potential to really get to my goal. When I first started out, I didn't initially see a huge change right away. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. You're not going to see this drastic change immediately. That is just not how weight loss works. And especially when you have bigger goals than just, oh, I want to lose weight. I knew probably 3 to 4 months into my journey that I wanted to give craning, okay? I wanted to give muscle mommy. I did not just want to be, skinny as people say. I feel like that word can be very triggering, so apologies. I didn't just want to look super skinny or super tiny, and I actually wanted to put on muscle. And the more that I fell in love with the gym, I started following people like Cranen. I started following other influencers, and I saw that they were lifting heavy. They had nice backs. They had strong legs. They had, biceps. They just had this physique that I genuinely felt was more aligned with like me and what I wanted to look like. Growing up, I did play a lot of sports and whatnot, so I think naturally I did have a little bit of an athletic build. I'm not gonna say I was athletic and super strong and all that, but I think by nature I'm not a petite person. I am 5'8". At that time I was 222, but even then, to keep it a stack, not a lot of people even knew I was 222 because I have long legs, I have long arms, and so the weight really did get distributed very differently. My butt was a lot bigger. I had a lot going on. And so by nature, I couldn't just have a goal of like, oh, I just want to be skinny. I actually had to be strategic and think to myself, one, what is realistic for your body? And two, like, what is going to bring you the most joy out of all of this? And I knew for myself that being skinny just wasn't going to keep me in the gym. I needed something that I actually wanted to work toward. People know that building muscle takes a really long time. And so sometimes you're in the gym for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before you reach your dream physique. That's why you could see some people in the gym who have the most banging physiques, and you talk to them and they're like, oh, I've been working out for like 10 years, because building that level of muscle mass, that level of definition, it takes a long time. And so it was fun. And I thought building muscle would be fun for me because it would be something that would keep me coming back. When you're starting your journey, try to think about what you're in it for. If you're in it for a quick get skinny scheme, then you're going to be able to get skinny quick if you just cut your calories and increase your activity. But if you actually want sustainable long-term goals in the gym and you want to look like a muscle mommy or a muscle daddy, then you're going to actually have to put that work in, and that could take years. So it is a long journey. It's fun, it's rewarding, but it is hard. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. So here's what I did at the beginning of my journey. I started out by going on what is called a calorie deficit. Most people know what this is already. That is what is going to help you decide like how many calories you should be eating a day in order to reach your goal. I personally did track calories. Some people don't. Some people don't believe in it. Some people have an unhealthy, fixation with the numbers. I was okay, but I just always took a break from it when I felt like I was getting a little too obsessed. So there was a point in time, which I will talk about later, where I was not eating nearly enough to get the, results that I wanted. So I'll talk about that. When you feel like you're in that space of like, you're so obsessed with the calories, you're so obsessed with like being small, being skinny. If you feel like you have any type of unhealthy relationship with calorie counting, I just highly suggest you stop. It is not a requirement to reach your goals. There are so many creators out here who intentionally eat and do not track their calories, and they have the most amazing bodies. You still want to prioritize your protein, but that's where calories and how much you're eating really does play a part, and where you may have to potentially start tracking. Just keep all that in mind. I just like to let people know that calorie counting is okay, but it can run the risk of, an unhealthy fixation issue. Definitely keep that in mind. I use the app called Lose It to track my calories. Some people like MyFitnessPal. There's like a bunch on the App Store, but I like Lose It. I've been using it for a long time. My daily goal at the time for a while was about 1,800 to 1,900 calories a day. That's in about an 1,000 calorie deficit, guys. And that is hard. The food noise can get very loud. The more protein you eat and the more water you drink, the less cravings you'll have. So just stick with the plan. In addition to eating 1,800 calories a day, I did work out about 5 to 6 times a week. You don't need to do that. That's just what I did. I was prioritizing 30 minutes of cardio at the end of every workout that I did. I also hit a lot of abs as well. If you hit abs every day, I don't know, I feel like your stomach gonna be snatched quick. I feel that I started seeing results in my body, like noticeable results, probably like 5 months into my journey. Like, I remember my birthday was October 13th, 2024. That is when I really started to see my body changing before my eyes. The game changer though to my entire journey was lifting weights. I'm telling y'all right now, I was unfamiliar with weightlifting game. That is what makes you look so lean really fast. If you're lifting heavy as a woman, even as a man, you're going to see that if you are eating healthy, prioritizing cardio, and genuinely lifting heavy, your body is going to take on a completely different form. I had muscles in places, guys, that I didn't even know I had muscles. My back was looking good. My stomach was snatched. My arms were super lean. I just started seeing my body transform so much when I started just putting my fears aside. You're not gonna look bulky. You're not gonna look manly. You are going to look snatched. When people get scared about weightlifting, I'm just like, bro, if you feel like you're getting too big, you can just lift lighter or lift less. It's really not that deep. Don't be afraid. If you want to look snatched, I'm telling you guys, weightlifting will change your life. As someone who runs, does Pilates, weightlifting, all of that, there is nothing that changes my body faster than lifting some heavy weights. Let's move along into the next phase of my journey. And this is where I learned a lot of my hardest lessons about my body, my mind, and what my goals really should have looked like. I'll be honest, once I hit the ground running in the gym, I low-key was obsessed, okay? I was working out 6 times a week, sometimes 7. I started training people at a point, and I was just so obsessed with fitness. Honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I do think that I started to fixate on just unhealthy things within my journey. So I started to get really obsessed with like how lean I could get and like what the number on the scale was and things like that a lot of people can probably relate to. There was a point in time where I believed that I was going to actually be able to build lean muscle only eating 1,300 calories a day. I hit what is called a plateau immediately. And that's when you're not gaining weight, you're not losing weight, nothing you're doing is changing anything about your body at that time. That drove me up the wall. I started to get even more obsessed. I was like, okay, I need to trick my body into something. I need to get more aggressive with my workouts. I need to do more HIIT. I need to do more cardio. When in reality, all I really needed to do was rest, recover, and eat more. Literally, that is all I needed to do. Once I got down to my smallest size ever, I was looking good in terms of you could see like that I was shredded. I didn't have any glutes. I didn't have any legs. My arms were pretty toned. My back was pretty toned. But the other things that I really cared about, like my legs, my glutes, other things, just didn't look the way I wanted them to look. And I think I looked great. It just wasn't my dream body. And I kind of felt like I looked a little like unproportional or disproportional. I remember one time someone actually said that to me. Yeah, it was giving Dorito. I decided to go into maintenance, and I really needed this season, honestly. I needed a maintenance season. I wasn't eating in a deficit anymore. I was just enjoying the gym. I started to like it again. And I felt excited about working out. I felt excited about challenging my body. I was running once a week, sometimes twice a week, and starting to do new things. Like I tried a 5K for the first time. I just wanted to fall in love with fitness in a healthy way. I didn't want to be obsessed with the scale anymore. I didn't want to do any of that. And that part of my journey really shaped me to get to where I am now, where I think I'm in a much better place to manage having new goals, going after those new goals, but not running myself down to a point where I'm not in a healthy state, I'm not eating, I'm not feeling good about myself. Because it's really easy in this whole fitness industry to compare yourself to people, to watch videos like this and compare your journey to others. And that's why I really want to say your journey is your journey. So don't watch this video and be like, okay, I'm gonna write all this down, I'm gonna do everything she said. Like, you need to take people's journeys, take people's physiques, take people's advice with a grain of salt. Like literally listen to it, take what you need from it, let it go. That is what kind of messed me up, because I started thinking, okay, well, I want to look like that. I can look like that. Not factoring in things like genetics. That's a part of the gym that people don't talk about. You may start following someone and you see that they look like this, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to look like that. Maybe genetically they have a faster metabolism, so they're able to eat a certain way or do certain things, and maybe that's not how your body works. Be very honest with yourself and really set that precedence from now, because you're going to end up in a position like me if you continue, where you're so focused on looking like someone you saw online, not realizing like you're losing muscle, you're looking a little, not crazy, but you're not looking your best because you're so obsessed with like, I want to be super skinny. Whole time, like maybe your build is not meant to be super skinny and petite. Like maybe you need to follow creators that have similar physiques to you and see how they were able to enhance their physiques with the structure that you have. If you're tall, if you're a little thicker, there are tons of creators out there who have similar bodies to you, who look phenomenal, who are super lean, super strong, all those things, but they're healthy, they're eating right, they're showing you, hey, when you're this size, this height, this weight, this is what you should be eating. That's the type of stuff you need to look at. You can't be 5'8" looking at somebody who's 4'11". It's like, girl, what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm gonna be so real with you guys. About 2 months ago, I started feeling so bad. I just really was not feeling like myself. I had no motivation in the gym. I wasn't even going to the gym with the plan anymore. I was just vibing. Like I would go to the gym and just do whatever I wanted. I was spending my time doing other things like going on walks and like doing Pilates. So my interest in the gym was just very minimal. I genuinely could care less about it. It's not to say that I didn't show up, because I always show up for the gym. And that is something I would say, when you start your fitness journey and you really get locked in, there is a level of discipline that you build that I don't believe any other person can understand outside of somebody who's a gym rat. When you lock in on that fitness journey, I don't care what you feel like that day. You could be mad, happy, sad. You're gonna go to that gym. Whether you have a good workout or a bad workout, you're gonna go to that gym. That's how I felt. Like, I just felt like I was going through the motions. And I'm gonna be so real. I think everyone actually goes through this. Like, everyone I know who works out has gone through this era of like, I don't even care about the gym. I'm just showing up for myself. Sometimes all you can do is show up for yourself. And my advice to you guys is, if you're in a funk on your fitness journey, if you're trying to get back, if you're trying to lock back in and you're watching this video for some motivation, keep showing up for yourself, because I promise you, one day you're going to get excited about that gym again. You're going to see a video of someone's transformation. You're going to see a video from your favorite fitness creator, and it is going to spark something up in you where you're going to want to go hard again. If you could do it once, you can do it again. And if you just keep showing up for yourself, it'll be a lot easier for you to like lock back in, versus if you just stop going to the gym and then you just try to get back into it, it's going to feel a little weird. I suggest just keep going. Like, even if you go to the gym and you walk the treadmill and you freaking do a couple lap pull downs and you go home, like, that is better than not going. And I truly believe that. That's something I stand by on my whole gym journey, has always been, I'm gonna go to the gym, period. It's a part of my routine. It keeps me, mentally healthy. It's just the way that I cope with a lot of things. So I go to the gym regardless of how I feel, but you just know in your heart when you're not locked in. And that is how I felt. Like, I didn't even want to film content anymore. You could just see it all in my face. I did not care. Like, people who had my Apple Watch Fitness were like writing me like, what is this? And I'm just like, yo, like, I came to the gym, bro. Like, I don't know what to say. Holding yourself accountable. If you have an accountability partner, great. But like, you should really learn how to be accountable for yourself. Be motivated by yourself, because there's going to be times where your gym buddy can't go to the gym, or your gym buddy is not locked in. And it's like, either you're going to just fall off like them, or you're going to keep going. You have to learn how to motivate yourself throughout this entire process, or you will not complete the task. People always ask me like, what keeps me going? What motivates me? I'm going to be real with you guys. I never want to feel the way I used to feel. I never want to look the way I used to look. I love the new body that I'm in. I love the confidence that it's brought me. I love the way that I feel when I look in the mirror. I just love every single thing about myself now. I made a video yesterday, and I hope it wasn't misinterpreted, but I was basically saying, I love the fact that I don't have to worry about, how I look when people take my pictures. I don't have to edit my body. I don't have to feel insecure when I put clothes on. When I go to the store, things fit me. That feeling is something I never felt my entire life. Every time I went to the store, things never fit. I always had to order things online. I always felt bigger than everyone else. I always felt out of place. I just felt so insecure about myself. I told myself I'm never gonna feel like that again. And so that is my why. That's why I get up every day and I go hard. That is why I don't skip days in the gym. That is why I eat healthy. That's why I meal prep. That's why I buy all my food. Everybody else can play around if they want, but I'm never gonna play about how I look because this body is tea and I plan on keeping it that way. If you keep that mindset, you're gonna be straight in this whole fitness thing. But if you start to get comfortable, start to feel like, oh, well, my friends is eating this, let me eat that. Oh, my friends is going here, let me go there. If you start to move like that, take it from me, you're gonna see. And if you don't catch it quick enough, you're gonna be back at square one. So have your fun, have balance. That's the most important part of all of this. Have your cheat meals, have your fun, have your days off. Make sure you rest, make sure you recover, get massages, whatever you need to do to feel good about yourself. But make sure that at the end of all of it, you stay on track and keep that word to yourself, because that feeling you get when you look in the mirror and you look good. When you go outside and people are like, yo, you look good. That feeling is unmatched. Unfreaking matched. Where I'm at in my journey right now is just the best place I've ever been. I feel so strong. I have been training hard. I've been eating so intentionally. Definitely in a deficit, which is annoying because, I'm trying to lose some fat right now, but I'm definitely feeling good. I'm eating a lot more than I was when I first started my fitness journey, but what I'm eating is actually fueling my body and not holding me back or making me feel like I'm muscle fatigued or anything like that. I'm meal prepping again. I'm sticking to the plan. The food noise is going down. I just feel like I am looking so good. In the last 5 weeks, I have made so much progress on my cut. I'm almost blown away by myself, but I know that the new plan that I'm on is very different from the past. One, because I know more. I have a healthier relationship with the gym now, but most importantly, because the way I want to look, guys, I'm about to really up it. I'm very excited about it. I will begin to share more. So that's what I'm telling y'all. Follow, subscribe, because I will be posting a ton of fitness journey updates, what I eat in a day, work out with me for the week. And I'm really gonna go in detail and teach you guys about how I was able to successfully lose weight and to gain muscle and really transform my entire body. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you guys nothing but the best on your journeys. Keep going, show up for yourself every day. I'm happy to answer whatever questions you guys have in the comments. And I'll see you guys next week.